Okay, this is Unit 3, Lesson 11. We're going to be talking about graphing functions. So now that we've talked a bunch about functions, now we also need to be able to graph these things. Graphing it is pretty much what you already know about graphing, but there are three different ways that the domain can be given. And in that case, we need to alter our graph just slightly. So first of all, you could be given a discrete domain. We talked about discrete domains in the last lesson. That's where only individual values make sense, not in between the values. And so in this case, the function becomes just dots. Now, this is an example of the same function all three times. It's some linear function. Okay, we're not really worried about that. I just want you to know that if you're given a discrete domain, your graph is going to be just the points, no connection. With a restricted domain, you would still put those points, but now you connect them with a line, but it doesn't extend past some endpoints. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. So there's no arrows, or there's just an arrow on one end. And these could be open circles or closed circles, just like we learned about when we were graphing inequalities. So we're going to pay attention to that. And then the last type of domain you could see is all reals. And all reals means we put the dots, we connect them, we put arrows on both ends, we extend all the way across the graph, et cetera, et cetera. So let's take a look at an example, and let's look at all three types of domains. So the first thing is, I'm given a discrete domain. We are going to have a table of values. So I'm going to have x and f of x. And I notice in this first example that I'm given a discrete domain. They're just listing out the domain values. So that would be -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I can go to the calculator. I can use the table function to get the corresponding outputs. So this is going to be 4, 1, 0, 1, and 4. Okay. It's the same table all the way across, and I'll show you why in a moment, but let's just go ahead and graph this. So, since I'm given a discrete domain, they're just listing out the domain values. In that case, all we do is plot the points. So -1, 4, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, and 3, 4. That's it. Don't connect them. Don't put arrows, nothing. It's a discrete domain, so just dots. And then I'm going to list my range. My range is lowest to highest. In this case, it's 0, 1, and 4. Remember, we don't list repeats. So the 1 is repeated, the 4 is repeated, so we don't list those. Bottom to top, that's your range, bottom to top. So in this case, bottom is 0, then 1, then 4 at the top. Okay, how does this change if I'm given a restricted domain? So this is a restricted domain right here. This is what it would look like, okay? Notice it still, in this case, goes from -1 to 3. And I know one thing you're thinking, Mr. Burke, that is a less than, not a less than or equal to. So shouldn't that not be in your table anymore? No, I get what you're saying, but it should be in the table, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we start out the exact same way. We get our points, we put them on the graph. -1, 4, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, and 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to connect these, but before we do need to deal with this fact right here. The fact that this is a less than and not a less than or equal to. If you remember from graphing inequalities, I'm just going to make that one an open circle. So that's an open circle. On the other end, it's equal to, so that's a closed circle. And this time, I do connect them, but I don't go past. I don't go past them or put arrows on it. Now, this time, my range, again, bottom to top. So the bottom of this is at 0. This is the y value of 0. So the bottom of this is 0. It does touch it, so it gets an equals to. f of x is my output, and then at the top, I'm at the highest this goes is 4, and I've got an open circle on one end and a closed circle on the other. Since I have both, the closed circle wins. So the top of this is going to be 4, and it does get the equal to. All right? So that's what a restricted domain looks like. Now let's look at all reals, which means graph the whole thing. I would still choose this table, and you can choose any x values you want at this point. I would still choose this table because these are all the points that actually fit on the graph. So when you're looking at your table, get as many points as you can that actually fit on the graph. So I would plot these same exact points because I didn't change the function. This time, I don't have to worry about open or closed. This time, I'm going to connect them. I'm going to extend past all the way to the end of the graph, and I'm going to put arrows on it. All right, so what is my output? What does my range look like? The bottom of this is still 0. That's the lowest that it goes. F of x is my output. And this time, this thing goes forever up. So that means the top of this is actually infinity. Remember, infinity can't be equal to. That's one way to write it. You could also write it as, well, this is everything greater than or equal to 0. Just goes higher. That's another way you could write it. Or you could write it with interval notation. This is probably the method that I recommend the most. Interval notation. It goes from 0 at the bottom all the way to infinity. And by the way, you could put restricted domain also as interval notation. I highly recommend interval notation. It's the least amount of things to worry about. So I realize that's a quick overview. We're going to practice this in class, and hopefully you'll have a much better understanding once we do a bunch of practice with this.